was the game before the championship, and my ward was down 16 points with 7 minutes left in the game. We were exhausted, and I looked around, and the players standing next to me were scrubs, deacons, and maybe 1 or 2 players that I played with before. And I looked at the other team, and they were much better, but they had a guy who was 6'4", and everyone else on the team were ordained teachers better than our deacons. But my coach, against the gravity of the situation, leaned in and asked us, "Do you want to know the secret of winning a game like this?" We, of course, nodded our heads, but we were all in disbelief. He's like, "What you do is you take the game possession by possession. This is what we're going to do. And you take the ball up from now on. Art, you go and run behind the baseline, try to get behind their zone defense. We're going to play box 1 on defense. Art, you're going to guard the 6'4" guy. And while we're doing this, guys, remember, forget the score." It wasn't the speech of the century, but it was decent for church basketball. From out of bounds, I took the ball and surveyed the court. There were 9 pairs of eyes staring at me. Taking a deep breath, I plunged into their 2-3 zone, trying to split it. I threw the ball up and went off the backboard right into the hoop as the whistle blew an and one opportunity. The lead was broken down to 14, and over the next 5 minutes, we did as the coach instructed. We hustled and we sprinted. We took it possession by possession and not thinking about the score. All of a sudden, we were down 1 with 30 seconds left. My brother took the shot from the 3-point line and it ricocheted off the backboard and went to Malcolm, who was our center. Now, Malcolm wasn't a basketball player. He wasn't even an athlete. He's one of those kids that stays indoors all day doing nothing. Nonetheless, he had the ball. He shot it, it went off the backboard, and it went in. We couldn't believe it. We went crazy. We won that game and eventually won the championship. But after that game, all we could talk about is how Malcolm had that game-winning shots. And ever since, his face has shown a lot of pride. This is Malcolm. And where is Malcolm now? He's in Leadville, Colorado, which is an elevation of 10,000 feet. He now runs marathons up there with the best of the people of his age on a training ground that Lance Armstrong goes to once or twice a year. That shot not only won us the championship, but it also won him a new lifestyle of happiness and pride. These feelings are often accompanied those who integrate a measure of physical fitness into their daily routine. Why would we deprive ourselves of such feelings? In the next couple of minutes, it is my mission to persuade you to commit to a lifestyle filled with physical activity. According to the National Center of Disease Control, 36% of adults in the U.S. are obese. Did you know that this number is not only growing, but it is accelerating? The unhealthy lifestyle that our modern routines inhibits is attributed to this health concern. Most citizens are at least 10 pounds overweight. But why should we be concerned? I mean, we're not super unhealthy here. We probably don't eat, supersized meals every day. Well, according to the studies, we can become morbid only by our daily routines. Our ability to stay within the confines of our own house and take care of our finances online, or ordering products and services on Amazon, or that fast food joint down the street with those small burgers for $1. Might as well get 4, or else we won't get full. It's only $4. Well, why should we care about being a little overweight? Well, if you have no reason to. I mean, the only reason you'd be concerned is if you didn't want to have a good chance of seeing your grandchildren, or not being diagnosed with diabetes, or not having a heart attack, or can you even imagine not wanting to be killed by the #1 killer in America, heart disease? Or perhaps you don't want to leave this life packing, leaving your spouse on the earth for 40 years to live alone. You saw how happy President Hinckley was by himself. You'd be the same. What's this? You don't have time to do exercise because of difficult classes? Well, I'm sorry to impose. I didn't realize that you weren't familiar that exercise quickens the mind, increases energy and grades, and helps give a positive outlook on life. People love a positive view. I wasn't aware that you didn't know about D&C 89, where it commands to use meat sparingly, to indulge in grain and fruit, and to abstain from addictive substances. And in doing this, you shall find wisdom and treasures of knowledge, even hidden treasures of knowledge. I can tell you that Malcolm walks without being weary and runs without being faint. In joining a league of hidden treasures of knowledge up here in Brigham Young University, you will have ample opportunity to develop a skill that is not taught well in schools: communication. How else are you to inform a player whose back is turned to go turn around and stop the ball? How else are you going to inform a player who's kicking the ball that you're open on the other side of the field, or that the opposition is closing on his backside, ready to steal the ball? These communication skills will be vital while you are with your partner on your mission. You will need a game plan when you walk into the confines of a stranger's house. You can't dive into your testimony without the trust that your companion will back you up because he knows your strategy. This is done by obtaining the endurance of weathering the spiritual journey that investigator takes while he backs you before the commitment, and learning from the first defeat that you have from losing the investigator. These skills, forming a game plan, integrating a strategy, and recognizing what there is to learn from losing, all comes inevitably from engaging in physical activity. As with building your testimony, you will continue to progress being involved physically. You will come to enjoy it, to cherish it, and develop a craving to do it. You will also crave food, and that is inspiration for many who now work out. I challenge every single one of you to dedicate a mere 20 minutes of your day to exercise, and you will witness the rewards. Who knows, maybe you will end up like Malcolm.